Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have a special guest here today.
Puppy.
Dog sitting a dog. So I just wanted to show him off here real quick. This 13-year-old just wanted to share
Oh,
him off.
he's a little pug mix, isn't he?
He's a Chihuahua Pekingese.
Oh, he cannot breathe, can he?
No, he can. He can.
Okay.
He's not full pug, but he is tiny, about the size of my foot. So, um, but no, besides, my little adventures, I'll get more into that here later today. But how are you doing, Fox?
Doing fantastic. Potty training's going great.
Good.
I would say we haven't really had any real accidents in a while. So every once in a while I get a little on the pants and we're like, oh, let's go. But they know it. They're like, oh, pee pee, and they'll go. So
Okay. Hey,
yeah,
progress.
We're feeling really confident about getting them into school this fall.
Hell yeah, I love that. Also, by the way, to anyone watching us visually right now, we'll get into our kits later today. This was not planned.
No,
Him
we
wearing
did not.
Louisville, me wearing Indy, and it's not leave path this weekend. So I just wanted to make that clear. We just both happen to wear our home teams. So
And even funnier about that, though, actually, even funnier because I just realized it's even doubly funnier. My friend Jessica sent me a text today, and it was like 3-4 years ago. We went to our first. Her and her husband Kevin. I was the best man in the wedding. Went to the Leap Half game in Louisville, and I was wearing this jersey. So she sent me that text of me wearing this jersey with all of me and my wife, her and Kevin, and stuff like that. And then I sent her a picture right back. I'm like, still wearing the jersey.
So we're in the jersey. Look at that.
And it's really funny because it was the Leap Half game too. It was that crazy. It literally just kept going back and forth. Within the first 10 minutes, it was 3-3. It was something.
Oh yeah, ridiculous. No, I was actually in the 4th of July for that one with my in-laws. So I was in all the updates. My foot mop was going crazy. My wife was like, "You can calm down." No, I'm not gonna calm down. Something's going on right now.
Yeah, I was I don't know what's going on. I was telling you, I'm this is not normal. I mean, I do know this is a rivalry game, but still.
I loved it. But what I will say,
yellow cards, not so many goals from everybody.
But what I will say, we have a lot more control of here on this show is what we're doing here tonight, and I can guarantee it'll be a lot less chaotic. Maybe the occasional segue that we always do and get rattle off on something, but without a doubt, you know what we're going to start with, and that is with a thank you to our lovely patrons. So John Hunt, Frank Anthony, Christopher Cohen, Harry Austin, John Fuller, Michael Foods, Joshua Duder, Noah Telford, Alberto Aguilar, Jeremy Churchman, Stephen Howard, Ryan Lacara, Tim Knotts, NFRH 30, MOS, Kunal Patal, Oliver Hedgehog, Andrew Towsley, Matt Cat Peel, Ryan Smetzler, and thank you to Girls.tv for sponsoring the show. Speaking of Ryan, I will be seeing you at the Fort Wayne match here next week. So
nice.
Shout out to Ryan. Anyways, so to kick off tonight's episode, I had to change the background there for us to do that. To get tonight's episode started, we're going to head up to what many claim to be what do I call it? The fashion capital of USL. And I'm going to head up Forward Madison. What?
Forward Madison Fashion Club.
Forward Madison Fashion Club and get their 2025 what's dubbed the Lady Forward kit. Now, this kit, if you've ever seen a Forward Madison kit, it is the quintessential home kit.
Yes.
Now, while they try to be chaotic a little bit more fun and playful with their warm-up tops, their third kit, their away kit, their home kit is basically this every year. And honestly, I applaud them for that consistency in everything else that isn't consistent with Ford.
They're usually consistently chaotic. Their home kits are consistently, blue sash, something with that. I like the chevrons and the designs last year. This is a good, simple one as well.
Yes.
But it's definitely you look at that and you're like, that's a Forward Madison home kit.
Yes, exactly. And that's part of the reason why tonight's episode is called the classic episode. It's a classic fit. Anyways, now I don't know who chose this one. Actually, I did. So I'll go first here on our ratings here. That was me. So for this kit, I will say the overall design aesthetics, I love this vibe. You obviously know from this show, I love the good little collar, and I love just this colorway. Honestly, I need to pick up one of these home kits. I have all the away kits and third kits. I need to get a home kit at some point for Madison.
I have a goalie kit.
I also have a goalie kit, yeah, and a warm-up kit. So I don't have the home kit yet. So I gotta fix that. And so because of that, this is a 4 for me when it comes to design and overall aesthetics. The blue and white always look good with the staff. It's traditional. It's who they are. It looks good. So lean into that when it comes to their authenticity and tradition. Straight for. I mean, you can't look at this and say that this is 100% Ford Madison, but this is what you 100% expect from Ford Madison. So I don't quite associate this style with Ford Madison, but this is what I come to see every year or 2 years when they release a new home kit. Now, when we get to the visual details and execution, I went a little harsh here, and I did give it a 2. Now, I do know there's the flamingo pattern, the tail, what's it called? The body of the flamingo and the crest, kind of throughout the jersey. I think that's a nice little touch. But there just isn't really anything to this kit. There's a little bit there on the back and whatnot, but this just seems like a blue shirt with a white sash, and that's about it. There's not really any details to it, so I gave it a 2 there. And then finally, when it comes to innovation and impact, because this is a classic Ford Madison home kit, it gets a 1 from me. So this gets me a 2.75. This is not going to bust down doors for the casual kit collector, but you will look good though. So, which is why it's aesthetically really good to me. So I got 2.75.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like my statements can kind of copy and paste what you said overall. My scores are a little different, but the sentiment is the same.
Yeah.
Design and aesthetics, it's a beautiful jersey. And I do and really actually enjoy the fine detailing that you were just speaking about between there's almost like a pinstripe that you can't really see too well.
Oh, and
then inside of that is the scoops that you see on the flamingo there we go. You can see those waves a little bit more in that last picture. So it's a cool little extra detailing design. They put in a lot of the fine detailings onto this. So the aesthetics behind this is a 4. I could rock this to work. I like this jersey. You will look good wearing this.
Yeah.
Authenticity and tradition, 100% agree with everything you said. It was a 4. This could be any other team as well, but this is there was memes that came out in the middle of the winter when Ford Madison announced that they were going to announce their home kit, and so it's I bet there's a sash, it's there's always a sash. So this is quintessentially Ford Madison. There you go. Visual details and execution, but like I said, it's kind of boring. It's still, and when you get out of those fine details, when you're not zoomed in like this, it's a blue polo with white sleeves. I like it. It looks nice, but you got the sash, so it's a 3 from me. There just could have been more.
Yeah.
Or less, honestly. I feel like they might have went a little too hardcore on just adding details here, details here, details here. It kind of just kept overlapping. It's like when somebody got on Canva and just kept oh, what if we do this? What if we do that? What if we do that? But lessen it. So that was the 3. It did innovation and impact, exact same thing. This is clearly a Ford Madison kit, but it's we're not writing home about it.
Right.
If you're a Ford Madison fan, Omar picked this up. You remember? Pick this one up real quick. But otherwise, this isn't one that you're going to hope that shows up on classic football kits in a couple of years.
Right.
So, but if you are looking for a traditional classic, hence the title of the episode, Forward Madison kit, this is what you get.
Yeah.
If you want one of the crazy ones, like I have my 90s.
Oh, yeah. The 90s goalkeeper kits.
Yeah, the 90s goalkeeper kits. Yeah, I love that one. Actually, I think you helped my wife pick that one out, actually.
I did. I did.
I think that one had been for Father's Day. But anyways, so I got a 2 from me. So overall, I got a 3.25.
So, and then with my 275, do the math, it's a solid 3.0. This is a run-of-the-mill Forward Madison home kit, and this is what it is. It will work. It'll get the job done. It looks good, but there isn't much more to this. We've seen this movie before. We've seen what they've done before from this vision. Now, given that score and given this is a $90, well, the bang for your buck comes out to be at 33.333333. So it's a little low on the value from a collector perspective, given this is a $90 kit, and this is kind of a run-of-the-mill kit for a lot of people. Not from the regions where you keep saying you don't pick this up, this might increase the value. But that is the kit value for the Forward Madison Lady Forward kit. Any other thoughts there, Fox? Because I think for the most part, we know what to expect here from Forward Madison.
Yeah, clean, classic.
Yep.
But I mean, they still put a little bit of their flair into it.
Yeah.
With the feelings, but yeah, it's a clear Madison kit.
Yep. Couldn't said it any better. So that is, keep that brief and simple. So that is the 2025 Forward Madison Lady Forward kit.
Like I wouldn't take it to get a beer with. If you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't go and get a beer with it. I would hang out with it, but I wouldn't get a beer with it. But do you know what kit I would get a beer with? Maybe a Guinness or something?
It's like what's the next one on the list here.
I figured we were just going up on our list.
We kind of are. So, so speaking of Guinness, thanks, Fox, for the segue there. We're going to head out to the other San Francisco team out there, not the one that we interviewed, but hitting up the San Francisco Blends and their 2025, what I've dubbed reimagined classic kit for 2025. And I think this is your choice here, Fox. I want you to kind of let me know what your thoughts were on this one.
Whew. Yeah, I just saw that innovation killed it. All right. Anyways, so this is a great kit. If you're looking for a good green kit, perfect. If you're looking for like an Ireland kit but don't want to pay for Ireland prices, perfect. This is what you're going to get. I like the fine detailings. I like that they have the SF kind of throughout, like their logo throughout the detailing. Click on that second picture there. You can see that SF going through with the little lines. So it's really cool detailings in there. Now I know some of us feel that just using your badge throughout the kit isn't the most creative, but I feel like they did a good job with that overall. But this is the only issue is one, this could have been a really good polo. It needed a better color. I do like their cuff links. I don't know what to call them. I say cuff links. Their sleeves. But that it didn't need to be a black and white color like that. It should have been a polo. But overall, I mean, like this is a good San Francisco Glens kit.
Yeah. See, for me, and I'll get into this when we get into my score, it just seems a little busy, even when you look at the detailing. Because at first glance, I think this is just a pinstripe kit or a stripe kit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at it, I get more confused, and I did see a lot of busyness that I don't know if I personally vibe with. Now, this does, I think, and that's just kind of the vibe that I got from it. It seems like they try to fit in too much into this kit. And I think that's what really hurt my score when we get into that. So that's just my little initial take. I also would love to see them use a little bit more of that lighter green that's used on their crest.
Yeah,
Like
I
that
do
exact
wonder.
shade. That exact shade. Because like
Yeah,
everything's a little off on the other shades of green throughout the jersey. That's just a little nitpicky thing, but just wanted to mention that. So
yeah, that badge green's a little neon-y. And I
little
do wonder if that was one of those issues with like
different
just
materials.
different material just couldn't
Yeah.
make that color.
Because like the stripe like right here is close enough to it that I can pass it. I just want
Right.
to see more. I would love to see the black here, this black accent, be that color green.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'll let you start here, thoughts with your scores. Want to go ahead?
Yeah, we very different opinions on this. Design and aesthetics, like I feel like it was a 4. I feel like it looks nice. It could be better, but it's a good looking kit and it's aesthetically pleasing to me. I don't think it's too busy, honestly. I feel like everything is lined up as well. But I hear your argument. Authenticity and tradition, I did give a 5. This is very San Francisco Glens to me.
Mm.
And I do like last year's better, if that makes sense. Like
Yes.
last year's came out and it was a beautiful one. And then this one came out, and as you properly named it, it's the reimagined classic hit. It's they kind of did the same thing this year, but just not as good.
Right.
So that's why the visual details, it got a 4 for me. It was kind of weak overall with the visual details. Like I like the San Francisco throughout. I like this little kind of faded line that goes through everything because everything is lined up vertically, but then also diagonally.
Yeah.
Everything's lined up, which is kind of cool. The innovation impact, I feel like collectors are going to want this. I feel like, this is going to be something that I haven't seen anything exactly like this before with the going vertically and diagonally. So it got a 4. Like, again, it could have been better, but I mean, overall, a 4.25. I think it's a pickup.
I think it does actually remind me of some of the kits that had that My Adidas stripe. I've seen some templates of them. So to me, I've seen kind of something similar, but that's me. Anyway, so for my score, yes, I was a little harsh in what I said, but for the most part, this was aesthetically pleasing enough. It's a 3. It is what it is. It's a green shirt. You look good at St. Patty's Day with your 10 drinks on you, and you're gonna look like an Irishman. So you're gonna look good, and your design set. It's authenticity and tradition. It's really just a green shirt. There's nothing even special about how they do it. Like it's one thing if you're like synonymously like Tottenham, where you just have a white shirt, or AC Milan, where you're the Rossoneri and it's black and red stripes. I don't know a team. I don't know them as being the team that wears green. I think there's other teams that have can probably take that mantle, in my opinion. But
is that because you're USL League 2 though?
what?
Is that because they're League 2?
No. It's just something that it might be their tradition, but it's not something due to it's not something I historically know them for, is what I'm saying. I now associate them with having a Guinness sponsor at this point.
Which they do.
Which they do, which is perfect, which is why it's what it is at a 3. This one I could have gone down to a 2, but I still stuck with a 3 because overall I think it was well executed overall with how everything kind of sort of turned out. I could have been really harsh on this one, so I did not to. The thing that really gets me here, and this is why I say it's busy, is that it's even kind of hard to see the SF on the kit. like on the like through the stripes because it's almost like just like a shade darker than the stripes that they're on. So
Yeah.
like it starts to look a little busy. Now, if it was inside of those stripes, maybe if they were that lighter green, if they were like, I don't know, somewhat more confined, it would have made more sense to me and it would have appeared less busy in my eyes. I don't think those sideways lines, I mean, those diagonal lines
Diagonal
cut
ones,
through
yeah.
were necessary, honestly, especially with the word mark in the stripes. I think it should have been one or the other, not both. And then finally, I don't think the black for the cuffs was a good choice. They should have either done that darker green that was used on the stripes, or they would have
I,
gone with a lighter green.
I agree with that.
So,
I think the black should have been the dark green and white should have been the lighter green.
yeah.
Just stick with green. Green,
Yeah.
dark green.
So that just felt off to me a little bit. So, are you frozen?
No.
Okay. Might just be my side. Just my Wi Fi always does suck. Because you're frozen on my end.
Oh, yeah, everything looks good.
Okay, then it's definitely my end. Nah, it's okay. All right, it's getting better a little bit. So, yeah, and then lastly, when it comes to innovation impact, there's nothing special about this kit, in my opinion. And it's a solid one. That's it. There's nothing like unique about this. Like I said, this almost reminds me of my Adidas template I've seen from Adidas, with the diagonal stripes. It's just a simple kit. This isn't something that, and it bothers me also with the crest and all that stuff. It's not something that I'm gonna write home about. I remember more last year's kits already, more so than this kit. Now the away kit, when we get to it, I like much better actually. So, but with that said, I give it a 2.5 overall from me, and with Fox's 4.25, we did a solid 3.38 for the San Francisco Glens Reimagined Classic Kit. Any other thoughts here, thoughts before I move on to the kit value?
I mean, I can agree with most of what you were saying. I will say I was in a whatnot yesterday, and I was watching a Jersey show. It was just so funny to see people bidding so high on past like pro jerseys. Like one was like a Man City, it was a Holland, it was that baby blue with the crest in the middle and the like a maroon detailings. Yeah. Very plain kit. I know it was Holland, so like that adds value to it. But it was an old kit that, you know, I just feel like people don't realize that the value of kits go down until they go up, if that makes sense. And people were bidding so high on those. Even teams that they didn't know, like they bid so much money, like spent like $90 on a Pachuca. Pachuca. I'm not going to say that right, am I?
No, you said it. Pachuca.
Yeah, Pachuca jersey. And I mean, it was a dope jersey. I would have loved to have it for like $20. But it was long sleeve. And I feel like that reminds me of that. Like, if we put that in that auction, they would like, I don't know what team this is, but look how sick this kid is. And it would have sold for like $90 or something crazy. And I feel like to the casual collector, they're going to really like this one because, I'll be honest, because of the sponsor and because of the like pinstripe / I don't know exactly what to all call it, but I could agree with you as a kit collector. Like, am I clamoring to get this one? No.
I definitely want to get the away kit. The away kit's on my list. It's on my list. And if you know me, it makes total sense. Just saying.
Yeah. But I mean,
hey, what I will say here, just as you're talking about the value of this kit, this is a hell of a good value still.
Right. I mean, $65.
Yeah, $65. for this jersey, for this kit, and with a pretty middle of the table, like a little bit better middle table kit. This is good value, honestly. This is good stuff. Again, not just last year's. I think as we've kind of talked about, sometimes when teams go hard one year, it is really hard to replicate that the next year. And I think that's what we're seeing here for the Glens.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to step up from where they were. So,
but yeah, so I do like this kit. It's a solid little green kit. It's not anything really special in my opinion. But the San Francisco Glens Reimagined Classic Kit for 2025 is a middle of the road okay kit, and I think that's okay.
yeah, so. if you're a Glens fan, definitely pick this up.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But if you're in the San Francisco area, we know some higher ranked kits.
At least 3 of them. So
we're not going to get into the middle of that rivalry right now.
No.
I just did, but
you did, but that's fine. We'll let them bat it out on the field. So,
but speaking of green kits,
yes, well,
kind of
green named team,
right?
Green, but green. We're gonna head down to a team who has green in their name, but decided to not do green. And honestly, I'm not looking at Lexington. I have other beef with you. We are heading down.
Michael, where are you at, Michael?
Right. Hey, also beforehand here, Orange Black Soccer Cast. What's up, nerds? What's up?
What's up?
So this next kit here, honestly, is going to be one of my favorite segments on today's episode, just because I am curious. I'm curious to see what we're thinking of this. Because if you know me, I'm a little bit more of a negative Nancy. I'm going to put it that way. I tend to rate harsher as more we've done this, the further our scores, our averages have separated. We're now a full 0.2 points away from each other. So I'm clearly starting to be a lot hard. I've been harsher. So, but without further ado, I'm going to bring up the Greenville Triumph Classic kit. Now, this kit, I will say this, for anything else, I need this kit. So This kit looks good. I want it. I know it's Ashton Villa vibes. I know it's I think Burnley also. And insert other team colors, as it's not the Greenville Triumph blue and green. This is a really nice, sharp third kit. And again, it's a third kit. Play with your colors.
Yeah, play with the colors. Play with the badge. Yep.
Do all that stuff. And they did that. And it has a collar. And it looks so good. So.
Yeah. And that single button. Yes. My goodness. So actually, I chose this one. So if I can just jump in if you want.
Yes.
So this is a beautiful kit. In my opinion, this is a perfect kit. But with the rules that we have set forth since the beginning of the season, I cannot give it a perfect score, but I want to. I actually did, because in my opinion, this is the perfect kit. It's simple enough, but interesting enough, because I love the diamonds that go throughout, that have the gradient look. I love the maroon and the blue, and I love what they did with their crest by adding the crescents of South Carolina. Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm getting the right Carolinas. I've made enough people mad this year. But they this is a collector's kit. If anything, you can argue it's a money grab, but this is something that I feel like, I mean, they've even posted that this is their most sold jersey since their inaugural season kit. And there's obvious reasons why. I've seen this on Drip FC. I've seen it all over. This thing is going viral as it should. But it's not a Greenville Triumph kit.
No.
And that's my only thing with it. It's the only thing I have to So everything else is a 5 for me. It's a perfect kit. It's so well designed. It's so beautiful. The details on it are very nice. I love the coloring. I love the single stripe on the collar. This is on my birthday list, and my wife told me to like highlight the ones that I want the most. And this is like mainly it's like Leicester City and Louisville City are my yellow ones, and then
Yeah.
this one.
Right.
And so that's changed everything up. But because of that, authenticity and tradition, I gave a 3,
Okay.
and I almost could have went worse. 3 is actually being kind of nice about it,
Yeah.
but it's not a Greenville Triumph kit. And when I look at this, it doesn't make me think Greenville Triumph. It makes me think, dang, that's a beautiful kit. And like, but this is a kit that I don't care whose badge is on it. I want it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like Man United or something evil like that. Besides that, like I would buy this kit no matter what. Actually, Ipswich just came out with the kit last season that was very similar to this. That's their third kit, that same like maroon look. And there was somebody else that I was thinking about earlier that had the same maroon look. And it's definitely a favorite of mine. So keep coming out with these maroons. I think purple was the big hit last year.
Now it's maroon.
It's maroon. So it's a 4-5 for me. And my only thing that has like it's a perfect hit. Like every collector is going to want this. People are like you're going to walk down the street in some jeans tucked in, locked in, and people are like, "Dang, that's a sick shit. That's a sick hit." And then they'll like look at the badge and try to figure out who Greenville Triumph are. But even like they changed the badge to add like "Together We Triumph" in Latin. Like that was cool. I really like this badge. Like I'm okay if they stick with this badge.
With some more of the details here. But yeah, so I'm definitely not as rosy on this kit. As I said, as we entered into this segment, this is a 5 aesthetically. This looks good. I want it. I need it. I will look really good in this kit. However, when it comes to authenticity and tradition, one of the things that I also highlight when you do a third kit is trying to tie it locally a little bit more. Maybe not just the name, but with the kit. When you see it, you know what they're talking about. Like what we saw with their away kit this year. It was from that park. And they did a good little nod to that. This, however, not something that I picked up the vibes of. And so, yeah. So as it says, you're paying tribute to the roots of our game with an entirely new look. So this is kind of what I'm talking about, where it is more of a nod to football's heritage, not Greenville Triumph's heritage, or even Greenville's heritage with the sport. And so because of that, I give it a 2. This is just a good looking, burgundy, crimson red with a sharp teal and with an amazing crest. I would get this just for the crest, by the way, without the collar and all that. Even that crest looks really good.
Yeah.
And I just me feeling it and playing with it all day. So
and it has mountains.
It does have mountains.
If you know anything about the crest episode from the beginning of the season, it has mountains.
It does have mountains. But when we get to visual details and execution, I think overall this was executed well. I think this was sharp. It looks good. I just don't know. Maybe I'm just what's the word I'm looking for? Some PTSD from Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich and the Bavarian Diamonds. Because Bayern Munich has diamonds in their crest. They've worn it on their shirts, their kits, whatever have you. And it is a simple pattern that gives a bit of a nod to Bavarian culture, or at least to Bayern Munich. And so there isn't much other details to that. Yes, the collar and the cuffs have that little bit of blue and I'm sorry, that red, that crimson right there, which looks really sharp with that little button. Um, but there's nothing else to this kit. Like this could just be a straight up polo, and it look really fresh though. But that's all that's really to it to me. So that's a 3 there. Might have downplayed the innovation and impact a little bit, just because innovatively, this isn't anything special. Its impact might be big, but the actual innovation of this kit itself is pretty simple. And it's something, like I said, I got flashbacks of Bayern Munich. So I gave it a 4 there for innovation and impact, which gets my score to a 3.5 to Box's 4.5. So we did a total 4.0.
But now we're about to talk about the only biggest issue with this kit too.
Yeah.
So this is a Hummel kit. We know that the quality is going to be good. Also, when you look at these detailings, you can see like that patch, like the badge is actual patch.
Yes.
The Hummel is like rubberized. The collar is there. There's actually a replica version you can buy. At least they talked about it. I don't know if you can buy it yet.
It's probably sold
cheaper,
out,
but it doesn't have the collar. It's supplemented. So you get the vibe of this kit, but not this kit.
Yes.
And that one's a lot cheaper.
Yes.
This, you're getting what you pay for, though. It is $110. Yeah. And that's what kind of kills the kit value. I feel like this is going to be something that like the casual collector is going to want a lot. But this isn't something that a lot of people will be willing to pay for.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that's hard when in today's age, especially with how kits have just gotten more and more expensive. You want there to be the quality, but you also want to make sure that what you're spending your money on not just has that quality to last you a long time, but it also has that, hey, this was worth $100 that I spent on this, plus shipping, plus taxes, or whatever hassle it took for you to get the kit. And I think
tariffs.
At the end of the day, this is essentially a polo kit that has a nice, cool Bavarian diamond pattern. And that's fine.
I agree.
I love that aesthetic.
I agree with what Orange and Black Soccer Cast said. It's like, yeah, great looking kit, but I agree though to connect it to Greenville. Yeah. Again, this is a perfect kit to me. Like if this was green instead of maroon, they changed that badge. They could work. But they like their sash too.
But it could work though, because
but I know they like their sash on their home kits, but if it was that teal blue with the green detailing.
What if they did their darker blue? Because the darker blues you usually use as a sash on the green kit and use more of an accent. Use that darker navy blue that they have as part of their crest and use that. So then you have generally the green kit, a white kit, and then you have that dark blue kit. Now I'm wondering if that dark blue clashes too much with the green, hence why they went with red, or last year with the purple. But I'm just saying that could be a fun little one as well.
I like it. But I mean, again, though, I don't think this is a kit for Greenville. This is a kit to make go viral.
And that's where I think the crux of the problem for this kit is.
Yeah.
It's almost a template kit without being a template, if that makes sense.
It's a 1943 template kit.
Yeah. Like you could just swap out some colors, have this pattern, and there you go. You have like it'll sell. It'll look good. And
it has sold. Like I said, their post was talking about how this is the quickest selling kit.
Yeah.
That they've released since their inaugural season, and everybody buys the inaugural season home kit. You know what I mean? Like that's the kit you want to have to prove that you've been there since the beginning. But yeah, so with the 3636, it's our second lowest for today, and
It's
towards,
definitely down there.
yeah, towards the bottom, probably middle bottom.
I mean, we said same thing about Portland Heart and Pine with their $110 kit, especially if you did the non-long sleeve version. Except
Right.
that was a little bit better of a score, but this is still a 4. That's nothing to chalk off and just say it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's just not as high as the others, and the overall kit value does get affected by that. So,
I mean, again, to me, this is a perfect kit, and I really do want this a lot. It's just not a Greenville Giant kit.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
To me,
that's yeah. I don't think there's really anything else on this one. I think for the most part, that just is what this kit is. You don't look good. You don't feel good in it, and yeah, it'll look good. But it's tough to connect to Greenville. So that was the Greenville Triumph, the classic kit for 2025 with a solid 4.0 from us here at KitSZN. Now, to wrap things up here tonight, there is one final kit that we got to review here, and that is actually one where I got to interview the designer for, which I'll put a shout out to them at the end here. But this is the Sioux Falls City's Pathways kit. Now, if you know me, you follow the show, you know there's one thing that I love. That's bright, that's colorful, that's fun, and there's a meaning behind it. This kit checks all of those boxes. Don't have a collar, but you know what? It doesn't matter.
It still has an interesting collar. It doesn't have the color, but has interesting.
Yeah, it has its capelli.
It has their like kind of V.
Colors. But just to put my score out there, this is straight up 5. I don't need to go into more of the details. But what I will say here is, so as we're looking at this kit right here, I do want to say check out my interview with Taylor Thomas of Sioux Falls City. She's a player, and she was also the one who kind of helped come up with the design and end up pushing this one through. It's basically almost like a player-inspired kit, which was a really cool story. And the idea here of this kit, again, I fully emphasize you check out the interview with Taylor. It was a fun one. Is that the idea of this kit is everyone has a different pathway that they take, and that's why there are different scribbles, there's different types of lines, there's different colors. Everyone's at a different point at any given moment. And this is kind of emblematic of their mission, as they are saying it, to, well, bring everybody together and celebrate where they are now and celebrate where they've been and where they're going. And this kit is kind of a nod to that pathway that everyone has taken to get to the moment they're at here today, and how crazy it all is. Some people did a loop-de-loops. Some people have done 360 no-scopes or whatever you want to call it. And we are all here today representing, in this case, for Sioux Falls City, representing their city, their club. And I love that messaging. I love that idea. There's even a few Taylor Swift Easter eggs thrown in here because Taylor is a Swiftie. So she had to throw in a little bit of some Easter eggs into here as well. And I love that little bit of playfulness that this is, because at the end of the day, it's supposed to be fun. And this is. So that's why it's perfect for me. It just means so much to the people there on the team, the culture that is done and set up. And this is just a fun vibes kit that I must have. So yes, I got granted.
Yeah, no, good. Because I agree with your rant. Because it's a perfect vibe for me as well. There's nothing I can, I don't know, discredit about this kit. Obviously, you can see my score there at the bottom as well.
Yeah,
it's a perfect kit. It's fun. It's interesting. It tells a story, and it's what we are about here at KitSZN.
Yeah.
So this is definitely something that I hope to have my hands on one day. And didn't actually listen to your interview. I was sad that I couldn't be a part of the interview like I normally am, but I listened to it on my way to Kentucky, and it was really good to hear all the different like little nods and shout outs throughout it. And
Yeah,
it's just cool too that, like you said, like it's designed by a player.
that's cool.
I think that's cool. Like I feel like
That's a new twist to me.
right, because I mean, there's something about athletes because they are creatives.
Yeah.
Like when you see Vinny Jr. playing, like and he's just weaving throughout everybody, like you never see what his mind is going to do, and it just doesn't make sense. It's because he is a creative. So when we have these creatives, they want to be creative in other places. You see the NBA and how many people want to be rappers. You see Shaquille O'Neal and all that stuff. Like, but
Or people like us who may not be creative in some ways, but we're creative in trying to provide a platform for people. You know, we all have
exactly,
our avenue to be creative, right?
exactly. We all have our purpose and our way to have our creativity shown. And
Yeah.
I feel like this team allowed a player to do what she does best.
Yeah.
Maybe not best, but what she really likes to do. And got to show off her skills and her
Yeah.
ability that might not have been celebrated prior.
What? Yeah, I would also say when we get into the kit here a little bit, I like the black cuffs and collar. It really ties it all together because the shirt in itself is all over the place. But with the collar and the cuffs being that black, it's a nice contrast. Thanks, Austin, for this lingo, by the way. That really keeps your eyes centered on what's going on, and you don't go wandering off. So I think this kit just looks beautiful. Belongs in our fives club that we've. I think how many are we at now? Our 16th fives club member. So this kit is
16th?
16th.
Oh, but
Yes.
that's in 4 years, right?
Yeah, in 4 years. In
Okay,
4 years. So it's about 4 year at this clip. But what I want to highlight here, besides what this kit means, and also check out my interview with them. No, this is not. I was not persuaded because of the interview. No, this kit is just a fun vibe kit, and this is why I wanted to do the interview. This kit is $59.
right.
They're gonna look good. It's Capelli. They're good quality. I want to see more from Capelli, anyways. And it's $59. It's solid, and this means it has an astounding kit value of 84.75.
Yeah, what's our kit value? Is that number one now?
Shut up. I'll check. The absolute highest is it's this kit right here. The closest we had before was a 77 and 79.
Is that St. Louis?
We'll check it out. I'll check it out here. But no, this is a very good value. It was a St. Louis ambush with a 77, and then Lane United, that wetlands tip we did a few weeks back.
Yeah.
That was a 79 because they were $50 each. So for when it comes to kit value, this is a good kit that will look good. And I can guarantee you people are going to look, and this will be a great one for your collection. So
Yeah, this is something that any collector will like. Again, like this is for the modern collector. I feel like the Triumph one that we were just looking at
it's a retro collector.
It's for that retro collector who likes modern. This one's for a modern, and I feel like that's us.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm slowly getting more into retro kits. I think that's because I spend a lot of my free time on classic football kits.
Yes. Also, you're getting older, and your
old
tastes
and
are getting more. What you liked when you're younger is now retro.
Well, I feel like that's kind of this though. This is giving me a '90s graffiti vibe.
Yeah, and that's coming back. Honestly, some of those '80s, '90s like fun color vibes. Because that's what y'all are. That age group is now the ones running these clubs.
Us fun kids from the late 1900s.
Right. Hey, I'm barely in it. I'm barely in the 1900s. But no, This kit is honestly really cool. I just wanted to give another massive shout out to the good people at Sioux Falls City for allowing me to do this interview, and Joel on Blue Sky for getting me connected with them and getting this all set up, because it was a fun conversation. This is a cool kit. I'm so glad they finally joined the W. So,
Right.
because they weren't last year.
Yeah, there's so many teams that we keep seeing kits for, and it's like, oh, it's an EPSL, or oh, it's in the Midwest Premier League,
Right.
and it's like, come on, get to the USL, any part.
Right.
Have a
Hey,
USL Academy or something, just so we can talk about the kids.
well, that's where I'll say, here a quick little plug-in to follow Protagonist, where you'll see this face on the top tops of every week, because I will be trying to highlight some kits from across the U.S. lower leagues here, better than ESPN can. So be sure to check out Protagonist.
More detailed than just either drip or no drip.
Yeah. So please check out Protagonist. In my little top tops, you'll see my face doing that every week for about like a minute. So that was the Sioux Falls City Pathways kit. It's honestly really good, up there for my favorites of the year. Now, obviously here, we had no fan choice. It's been great chaos over here for both of us. He's been body training and traveling, and I was in Ann Arbor and then Cincinnati yesterday. So it's been busy times over here. Things happen. So just wanted to give another shout out. God, I've been busy, to Jamie from and all the people at AFC Ann Arbor for allowing me to invite me up there. And it was a good time and meeting all the people. We're also Toledo Via. So it was a lot of fun. But now time for us to talk kits that we are rocking here tonight. So as we wrap things up here tonight, Fox, tell us about your Louisville City kit.
I got the Pre-Star 2016 original gold stripes. Just rocking it. Classic.
Rocking it.
Yeah. I was trying to find a kit. I feel like you're dogging on me before for not wearing as many USL kits. And I'm like, all right. So I found one that was clean. I got a pile of jerseys that I need to clean right now. But you can only hang up so many things at a time.
Right.
So I'm just rocking it. It's a classic. This is why they came out with it again for the 10th anniversary, because people remember it. And it's one that's like this doesn't rank well. This is an ugly kit, honestly, but I wear it often.
I almost want to call it certain kits have that cult-like feel about them.
Oh yeah.
Fan base. It's like some would even argue like the bomb pop for the U.S. national team, or like even better, the denim kit for the national team.
Right.
Some love it, some hate it, but it has that kind of like cult-ish following. Like, oh, I need to have this. Some teams just have that certain kit that is that, and it's your gold stripes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a cult classic.
Yes, a cult classic. Well, what I'm wearing is not a cult classic. This is last year's Battle Red kits, as we dubbed them, for the Indy 11 from 2024. It's a fun one. I'm still not completely over the fact this is completely supplemented from USL Championship side from Under Armour. So
right.
I'm still not over that yet, but it does fit me well, and it is breathable because it's pretty thin fabric. So it is good to work out in. So that's why I'm wearing it tonight. So yeah. So that is all for what we have here tonight. Fox, you got any messages for our lovely people before we head off and before I do my little things?
Yep. Be good to people. Feel good. Look good. Play good. Good.
Yes. Speaking of playing good, feeling good, we'll be next week releasing another interview. It's been busy over here with this time with a special guest here on Saturday. You will release the interview. We'll be doing it next week with one Ballard FC / Salmon Bay. So you want to check them out because they always look good, feel good, and recently play good. So be sure to check that one out next week. I want you all to be high alerts for this one. Should be a fun one. So without further ado, that is all that we have here for tonight. It's been a pleasure chatting with y'all here as always, and we will see y'all next week. Thank you. Have a good night.